face shields?
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends that work in the medical industry, and I know that they're not as well protected as they could be. A lot of times they are wearing masks, but they don't have face shield protection, and so when they're doing throat swabs and things like that, it's very common that people will cough on them, and so the idea was, how can we have face shields? How can we get face shields to workers like EMT, like police, like medical workers, to help protect them, so they can wear their masks, and they can also wear a face shield. When they wear their face shield, you can see it covers the face right there. So if somebody were to sneeze on me or cough on me right there, it's really protected in this area. That, with the mask right there, they're very well protected. Without the face shield, they're really risking having contaminants coming into their eyes, etc. So the idea was, if we want to make these, what's the easiest way to do it? And we found a design that was with a university out in the West Coast. We've modified that design, and in sourcing materials for this, one of the things that came up was that foam was going to be difficult to get, and it was going to be very cumbersome to work with. And so I started thinking about it, and I said, gee, why don't we use foam noodles? And I looked at the dimensions of the foam noodles, and I said the circumference of the foam noodle is absolutely perfect for these designs. So you can see over here, we've got foam noodles that we've been cutting. We cut sections out of the foam noodles, and then what we do is we have to make a cut inside the foam noodle so we can stretch it out. So basically we make a few cuts here. This allows it to stretch out, and this is what's actually going to go against people's heads. Very comfortable, allows better airflow, very easy to make. Once we do that, then we can take some of the Mylar that we have. We can cut a piece of tape. Tape goes down on the Mylar. Take the backing off, which is the tricky part. There we go. And we take the noodle right there, and the noodle goes right down on top. We take some elastic. We staple the elastic to the face shield. And there you have it. You have a complete face shield. Doesn't take that long to make. You can set up an assembly line process where you have several people that are doing different stations on this. So one person's cutting the noodles, one person's cutting the Mylar, one person's cutting the tape, and then one or two people are assembling the masks. And these masks are already being used out in the field. We expect a lot more to be going out, and it's a great way to really show how everybody out there can be helping to help other people that are responding to this crisis.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you are sharing your idea. You want other people to join in and help with this, right?
Absolutely. I've put the designs for this out onto the internet, and I put it on Facebook, and it was amazing how many people picked it up on Facebook. I've had people in Dallas and in Chicago, in Boston, and in Washington, D.C. pick it up and say, we're sending this out to the local hospitals. We've had a manufacturing association in Wyoming, in Montana, that is also sending it out to hospitals around the country. I've also reached out to the state of New York, to one of the top people in the governor's office, and my understanding is that that may be broadcast for New York as well. So, you know, it's just a little thing, just a little part that I can play here. It's a simple little idea. It's something that anybody can do. And again, the instructions are on the internet. I put it up on a Google Drive page, and that's, if you go on Facebook, and I guess I'll put it on YouTube so people can see that. And that way they can look for a link for protective face shields. But I think that the more we can come up with ideas like this and get them out to help make protective equipment for our top tier workers, for the hospital workers, for the EMT workers, for the police, and for other people that really need to have this kind of protection, it's something that we can all participate in. Instead of sitting at home watching hours of Netflix, we can do our part to help with this crisis that we're experiencing.
And all of this is really affordable materials too, right?
Yeah, we put our own money up on this to do this. My understanding is it will probably be reimbursed, you know, at the cost. It keeps people busy. It keeps people occupied. The cost itself per mask came out to a little over $1 per mask, which I think is reasonable. That's not buying wholesale. That's not buying materials in bulk. That's simply just kind of going out into the market and going into Amazon, going on to eBay, and actually with the pool manufacturer, noodles, going directly to the manufacturer to get those. Yes, you know, the cost could probably come down if somebody set up a bigger operation. Right now, we're gearing up to make about 1,000 of these. So we've made 100 so far, and we've got 900 to go. But you know, the material cost is something that people are going to have to spend some money on to do, and either they can donate that and maybe take a tax write-off, or they could, you know, maybe get a hospital or a police department to help fund some of this.
So you guys are going to be working around the clock, it sounds like, to get these done.
There's going to be work. I think it keeps other people. It's not just me. It's a whole team, and I think it keeps people busy and basically employed and doing something that's really critically important. And what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see this message go out, you know, around the country where a lot of people can be involved in terms of projects like this to help other people. And you know, there are definite needs out there. There are definite things that definitely things that other people can do. And you know, it's a question of getting the message out there, and then for people to say, hey, look, I got the time, I've got some money, I'm going to buy the materials, I'm going to come up with something that I can do to help other people.
How does it feel knowing that you're kind of playing your small part in all of this?
You know, I think it's great. It's great. I mean, you know, could I sit around and watch Netflix all day? You know, the problem is at my age, I've seen most of the movies already. So it's you know, it's great to be able to go out and do something and do something that's so important for other people.
Mm-hmm. And you have, I know we can't mention the actual hospital, but you have family in the healthcare industry, so this is very close to your heart, I would guess.
I do. I do have family in the healthcare industry, and it is, to me, I have a number of friends that work in local hospitals, and you know, to me, this is absolutely critical in terms of the needs that they have. You look at New York City, you know, it's just a disaster right now, and they said, you know, we're running out of supplies. They're wearing garbage bags for protective equipment, just to protect themselves. You know, that's going to be replicated around the country, and you know, we can't get the supplies that we need from traditional supply points. So now we got to go to the cottage industry, and that's where everybody comes in. Everybody can help out. People are stitching masks at home. People are making face shields. People are, you know, stitching gowns together for hospitals to wear. you know, all of this stuff used to be disposable. Well, now it's being reused, because they have to use it.
Yeah, it's awesome how the community is really coming together, the whole world really coming together to try to fight this and
Absolutely.
protect our healthcare workers.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Anything else you would like to add?
No, just, you know, I think that everybody's got a role to play, and instead of sitting at home and being terrified, you know, try and figure out what you can do to help and what role you can play.
Thank you so much.